missing something?
Yes. Music. Let's get to work.
You guys can't let me down now.
What, are you falling in love again?
No, man, I just like the way she dances, all right?
Howdy, howdy, howdy. How we all doing, folks? How's everyone doing tonight? What are we going to do tonight? Ooh. #1 Wish Cresp fan. Oh, welcome. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for viewing. Have you been in here before? I'm guessing you're your first time chatter, maybe not. How'd you find the stream? It's Twitter, I'm guessing? Let us pop open. Through Twitter, yeah, cool. Well, on tonight's stream, what am I going to do? Where is my testing stuff going? So basics, fundamentals, test, points on curve, here we go. Need to go to one of these earlier ones. So, previous stream I did, last week, we were looking at everybody's favorite, motion paths, and how I'm using motion paths to distribute sort of joints along a curve. I ran into something where I wanted to use different kinds of, how would you say, distribution along curves that motion paths have. There's two types. There's what I call uniform and there's parametric. So parametric allows you to sort of like maintain positions like earlier in the curve. So if you push CVs down the end, none of the ones at the start are going to follow. It's much more isolated. It's kind of cool for doing things like, I don't know if you wanted to do like a caterpillar crawl or a snake or something like that, where you need to pin things down much more specifically. So I wanted to start integrating that into some of my point on curve setups, whilst also maintaining my uniform setup. So if you pull one end out, all the joints evenly sort of like stretch between. As well as making that work with my lock to the start and end setups that I've got, which were, as it turns out, when I did some exploration during the week, were actually working as intended. So I've gone through and cleaned that up, which I can maybe show. Let me see. Point on curve B, test blend. Stretch remainder does not exist because I deleted it, didn't I? Ooh. Oh, do I need stretch remainder? I might actually do need that. Let me see. It's been a few days since I've looked at this, so I may need to reacclimatize to my code, but yeah. Do lock nodes. We want to go into parametric. Info node. The info transform. Open this one up. So let's find, we're looking for stretch remainder. Oh boy. So that was like on the output. Let's head that back in. Did I have that on my other one somewhere, which I can just quickly... Hey, Umesh, how you doing, buddy? We want this stretch remainder. How about just remainder? I am doing pretty good. How are you doing, good sir? I have been teaching today for about 3 hours, teaching very basic rigging to a rigging class, which is very fun and a bit of a change, but because I've been talking for like 2.5, 3 hours, my throat is a little bit rough. So I don't know how long I'm going to be able to keep streaming for tonight, but we'll see how long we can go. Oh, welcome, Polo Frank. Greetings from Rome. I'm watching you for the first time. That's awesome. Whereabouts did you find the stream from, Polo Frank? Was that through Twitter? Do you follow me on Twitter? Let's set up, so the stretch remainder. Okay, let's do that. It's fairly easy. Stretch remainder is going to equal the active curve length minus the scaled curve length. So let's quickly rebuild that. Doing great. It's a holiday here tomorrow. Oh, fantastic. Wait, tomorrow is in Wednesday? Holiday in the middle of the week. Damn, interesting. Well, I guess that's kind of cool. You can get like 2 days on, a day off, 2 days on. Like, it's sort of like a middle weekend. I like that. Nope, I'm a rigger, and I was looking for something on Twitch. Oh, cool. What do you do rigging in Maya, Apollo? Or do you do it in like Blender or something else? We're all very Maya focused here, but I am looking to put my stuff into Unreal at some point. Yes, in Maya. Oh, cool. Do you have a lot of experience? Or still sort of like learning? I mean, I guess, aren't we all learning, you know? Festival here in India. Ah, awesome. Sounds like it'll be a bit of fun. Which festival is that, Umesh? Oh, teaching. That's great. Where are you teaching? Online. So I've just, I'm filling in for somebody, one of my mates got in contact with me saying his friends at a university, like somebody had fallen ill and they needed somebody to take a rigging class last minute. So I'm just doing a few classes, like 9 classes over 3 weeks or something. Just very simple stuff, like very basic human biped, you know, the standard bread and butter kind of things. But it's just cool, just like kind of going back to basics and actually thinking about like, how can I explain this in really simple terms? Because I think a lot of the students aren't really familiar with everything I'm talking about. So yeah, like it's keeping it simple. How do I explain like hierarchy relationships versus constraints? And I think on the first class I did, I completely overwhelmed them. And I was just like, okay, I probably have to dial it back a little bit, make it a bit more simplified in the future. So yeah, it's been good. Actually, I was an animator for 11 months. Oh, interesting. I'm having an advanced rigging class. Cool. Is that with Rigging Dojo or somebody, Frank? You're Robbie. This is Damo from Method. Oh, yeah, you probably should have left with that, Damien. Thank you very much. Welcome to everything. I used to work with Damien at Method. Everybody in chat, he's a very good rigger. He's stepping up to the plate this year, getting to work on some cool stuff, I think. Obviously can't say what it is, I'm sure, but yeah. Puppeteer Lounge. Puppeteer Lounge is pretty good. They always like produce like very consistent, interesting rigs. Is it like, oh, who's the guy who runs it? Is it like Suchin or something? I follow them, that's for sure, but yeah. Suchin, yeah, there we go, cool. I knew it. I was, yeah, Suchin. Borna, welcome, my friend. Borna, you didn't do Puppeteer Land, did you? I need to look for my... Oops, no, I don't want to search in Twitch chat. Thank you very much. Minus. Let's take that. It's to share quite a big story why people celebrate it here, but it's an important day. Oh, cool. Well, I hope you have a good day off anyway. Is it a day full of celebrations, or are you just like having a break from work sort of thing, Umesh? I did, but I never finished it for a procedural spine course, but I didn't complete it because it was Mel. Yeah. Hey, well, at least the thing with Mel is, you know, if the course was made 10 years ago, it's going to be the exact same thing now, and it'll still work in Maya right now, so, you know. Gotta take the good with the bad. Hockly dockly. So, let's take this. Let's rename that to, stretch remainder minus, and we're going to plug in the active curve length which I can get from there. And also going to plug in the scaled curve length, which is going to be the output for that one. Oh, that's not the divide one. Yeah. And the output is, let's just take that and stretch a remainder. Okay, so I think this should build now. I did a cleanup of some of my things when I was working on this script the last time. I may have accidentally deleted something I needed, but that looks like it's working now. I almost went to that one too, but I didn't. I did their Mel Basics 2 years back. Like, honestly, getting a good core of, like, a core understanding of Mel or whatever is not... It's not the worst thing in the world, right? Kind of a good place to start from when you can just copy everything straight from the script editor. Cool. Okay, so what we've got is I've anchored everything. So if I extend out this or compress it down, these positions are going to be maintained. I can go and what is it? Lock blend. So I can lock it from the start or to the end, and it's going to push these out automatically. Then I can do the stretch blend, and it automatically pushes them down. Then I can compress to the start, and I can compress to the end. Now, I think one thing I wanted to do with this was make sure when it's pushed out and it compresses to the end, that it doesn't just go to the, like, one value. Is it all going, like, is any of that pushed out? No. Is any of that pushed out? No. So I think rather than having it all compressed to the very end of the curve, because it's just being like 0 there and 1 there, I want to find the highest U value and go to that. Sorry, not the U value on that. That is the translate value. We want to do it on 1216. There we go. How long did it take you to get your auto rigging system complete enough to start working on projects? Demo, I've been doing it in my spare time for years now. I don't think I was really in the position to do that. It maybe took me like maybe a month of work to sort of like get familiar with it. Like everything was sort of in bits and pieces, and I just needed to like spend some time just mashing it all together. At the start of the year, I had a few months of break. Then I think I started picking... Well, I took like January off. Then I started picking up my scripting and stuff again in February. March... Yeah, I had a trip to Brisbane. After I came back, I did some work on that museum project. The one that's in my Be Right Back screen in the bottom right-hand corner here. With all the animals and things like that. So... That was done. I had to do 8 bespoke rigs, and it was complete enough that I could do, you know, fishes, seahorses, moth, like a bat and things like that. So I still, like, there was some things I had to, like, tweak and mess around with, but it was in, like, a decent enough position. It's just all been refining and improving since then. I wanted to start with Python, but the current studio workflow doesn't use Python at all, and every other job demands Python. Yeah, Mumish, that was, like, I can relate to that. Like, yeah, I started Python thinking, oh yeah, we'll be using it at some point, and then, nope, it was all Mel all the time. But it was a good thing I did learn it, because when I went onto the studio I went to afterwards, it was all Python, so it just made things much easier learning that. Ah, the memes. We'll be using Python in a few months' time, so make sure you know it. Nope. Negatory. That's a negative. The big soon. Maybe that's what forced somebody's departure recently. Who knows? The change to Python. Unacceptable. Okay, now. So when I'm doing compression, I do have my compression scripts here. Compress end. Do compress end. Let's expand this, because I think it's just going to be end value This connections, U value, attr. Oh, yeah, that's right. And the end U value. Get attr, original curve, length. If self-parametric. I think, let's change this. I think we can do it so we can find, where's these ones? Let's find these connections. So, on the final motion path, self-base motion paths, -1. We want that, and we want the U value. And we want to get the plug. And I think that should connect. Let's redo that and see. Let's move that up a tad. Press to the end. Hey, there we go. That's more like it. Cool, so that does work. That's not going to create any weird... I don't think that's going to create any weird loops. Let's check out the node editor. Yeah, I was starting learning from this week. Cool. Check for ZTM Academy. What's ZTM Academy? Yeah, Chris Zerbrigg stuff. He uploaded a bunch of new things for my pipeline stuff recently. I saw he uploaded a bunch of videos. Damn it. Is that working? I always do it wrong. I need to update. There we go. Those are my go-to ones, which I probably need to update. Oh god, I hate this. Get out of here. Looking at the motion path. This one. Let's see. Any word stuff going on? That loops in. Expand out. Because where's that coming from? That's coming from compression end blend. Then does that just go in outwards to a bunch of things? Or maybe even... Yeah, that should be fine. Catchaborna, thank you for stopping by, good sir. Enjoy your morning. Hope the bubba doesn't disturb you too much throughout the day.
Water everywhere, so let's all have a drink.
Yeah. Thank you very much. By the way, those who are new to chat as well, we got a bunch of commands. You can either do ! commands, I think, to find them out. It'll give you a link. Or if you check out my About section on my Twitch page, it gives you a list of them as well. So you can spam a bunch of sounds or videos in chat. For example, if you ever see a triangle, you can say this.
Now, boys and girls, who knows what this is?
Triangle.
Boom. Hey, Studio Go, welcome. Are the nodes from Maya the same as nodes in Blender? I don't think there's a direct one-to-one comparison, and if there is, I don't think they share the same names. I think there may be, like, I've never used Blender, I'm just guessing this, but I'm gonna guess there'll be similar nodes with similar concepts, right? Like, they'd have probably a node that can add things, that have a node that can minus things, like, similar things named differently do similar things. I think it would be the same through, like, Unreal and stuff as well. Gotta go, big man. This was sick. Thank you very much, Damo. I will catch you around, good sir. We need to. I need to actually catch you around at some point. We need to catch up at some point soon. That'd be good. You and the missus. Okay, so we've got the compression start there. Let's do the compression. Sorry, that was the compression end. Let's find the compression start. Because I believe, yeah. Start U value equals. Let's find the first motion path U value that's going to be driving it. And plug that in instead. Because after I get this functionality, so this is pretty much like lock to start and end, and then I can blend to the evenly distributed locators. Then I want one that can go from uniform to parametric. That's the one we'll be working on next, and then we probably want an amalgamation of both, so you can blend them on and off all together. There's going to be very unique circumstances where I use each. So if we look at my scripts, I've got a class for point on curve parametric. That'll be when I want to do things like distributing stuff along like lip curves or eyelids would be really good for that as well. Uniform is what I've been using in general for like tails and spines where you want to maintain the length. And if it stretches out, all of those joints scale evenly. I've been thinking about that, yeah, maybe adding the ability there to switch over to parametric, which is why I'm sort of dealing with these things now. So like I said, parametric, you can kind of like keep joints at the start anchored while you pull ones out at the end, and it's like doesn't impact those ones at the start, which is cool for like anchoring things down. And then points and curves, uniform lock, so you can lock stuff at the start and the end, so it can, you know, it doesn't stretch at all. Yeah, so just ways of like blending between all of these different classes or constructing additional classes from them. I think that's where we're heading for. Let me undo all this so we just can check that the start and end compression stuff. Oh, and this compression stuff I'm doing is new as well, because that's quite easy to create functionality from with spline IKs, where you can just like scale the joints up and down along the curve. So I just wanted to create something like that if you ever got like, I don't know, like, you know, eye stalks or something from a snail, so they can suck back in or something like that. I thought it'd be cool. I did that for like tentacle tendrils at one point, so it's good functionality to have as well. And I just didn't have that in my points on curves thing before. We can maybe see that I've got an old version, which is just like my standard thing that I had before, which I was using for spines, and now I'm doing points on curve B, where I'm splitting them all up to make them a bit more functional in different circumstances. Yeah, but what about the mesh when you contract? What do you mean, Polyfrank? Actually, I'm doing that wrong. Let's push that in just to make sure that works. Let's lock the blend to the end so we can still compress to that value. Awesome. And we can compress to that value. Yes. I am very happy with that. Cool. Okay. With that, let's set up class test blend B. Because I do have, like, I've got some things here for, like, blending transforms and stuff. I'm not sure if that's the way I want to go. I think I want to simplify it down. Let's copy these. Base curve. We want this to be points and curve parametric. Actually, let's steal that and the dictionary. For making a dictionary, I should say. All of these might be good. Reference transforms, number, U values, aim up, do closest point. Just got compressed start and end. Actually, it'd be good to test those as well, what I've just created. So let's do that. Parametric. Oopsie-daisy. Hum. So let's undo all this jazz. And do that to B, just to make sure parametric's still working. Looks like it is. So just to give an example of what makes that difference. So before everything was moving together, and now when you pull out the end, only the end stuff is sort of like influenced between. So like all of these clusters basically represent where the CVs sort of roughly are. So when it gets to like, you know, 2-3 CVs away, it starts like the influence starts waning a little bit. So just a cool little additional feature to have that works in really nicely for things like lips, where you want to pull things up and not pull from one side of the mouth to the other or whatever. And we also want to do... That's a code for uniform. So we can just compare and contrast those, because we can build them on top of the same curve. Push out we don't need. Let's get that for the dictionary. No, not parametric uniform. Uniform dictionary. I think, like, I call this version uniform, but I think Maya actually refers to this mode, this fractional mode, as either fractional or percentage based. I don't know. Uniform to me, it's just something that I've called it for a while, so I'm just sticking to that. And let's build that on top of the curve as well, and then figure out our plan of attack on how we want to blend, because we uniform we need to do closest points because we want to turn those values into parametric values. Easiest way to do that is via point on curve nodes. So undo. Actually, I'll push the node editor over there so it's not in the screen space. Let's run that una mas. Yeah, because I didn't change it over. That'll be why. Did it make stuff? No, good. Found none too. For once, I had a rig with a collapsible mechanical arm. This rig had a deforming system, control, lattices, mesh, and for a contractile part, we used a shrink wrap. Yeah, so my deformers are really cool. The only issue is they're limited to Maya. And when trying to think a bit more like expansively like things, like I'm trying to focus more on joints at the moment, especially because, like, you know, skin clusters, joints, everything is really fast. But shrink wrap stuff can actually be really, really cool. Like, have you guys heard of a studio called Mindbender? They used to do like really cool, I think they still do, they do like Maya animations that sort of look like clay. And they'd have ways of sort of like moving arms around characters, and by shrink wrapping sort of like a flat plane around that area, it would like sort of make it appeal like it's peeling off of a mesh or something. Mindbender? Is it Mindbender? I think that's them. Let me just double check. Or maybe it's Mindbender. No, it is Mindbender, yes. Are they still around? Oh, it might just be a person now. Unless that's just somebody's Twitter account I've just randomly come across and it's not actually them. Man, okay, I'm looking at Google and it's giving me like 3 different spellings for this studio. Mindbender. It's just like spelled normally now. Okay. Mindbender. Yeah. I swear it used to be called something different. Maybe they found it was too confusing, so they had to change it back. I mean, clearly, I'm confused right now, and I like this. I like the studio. But yeah, I remember like watching their stuff when I was in uni and things, and being like, "Oh, this is so cool!" And they'd use, just really good use of Maya deformers to make things seem like they were clay. So like you could stick an arm in, move it around, so they were separate elements. But you'd have sort of like a flat plane that would be attached to one and like shrink wrap to the other, and then that would sort of be part of the deformer or whatever, and as part of the deformation, and yeah, it would look pretty clean. I think that's how it was done anyway. It's been a while since I've checked out their videos about it, but I'm pretty sure I saw something like that behind the scenes. So found no valid items to add attribute to. Oh. I should do like a check actually for these, that'd be good. If not commands object exists. Compress start. And let's do that for the end as well. Guys, I have to go back to work. When will the next stream happen? It's generally the same time every week, Polifrank. So it's 9:30 my time, Australian Eastern Daylight Time it is now. Our clocks changed over on the weekend, so we're like now an hour later? No, earlier. We lost an hour. I hate daylight savings time, so I can never remember which way goes which, but pretty much when I started streaming this week is going to be the same time next week. So it might be a bit of overlap with when you're working, if you're in... Did you say Rome, was it? Roma? Porca madonna, che cazzo. I worked with a lot of Italians. Yeah, there we go. I was waiting for some kind of reaction. No worries, Frank. Thanks for joining the stream, and yeah, we'll catch you next time. Talk to you on Twitter. Cool. Okay, so we got these doubled up now. Parametric we can hide. So this is with the uniform. And what we can do, so like the idea is on this base transform, the motion path values are fractional. So in order to convert them to parametric values, we need to use a closest point on curve one, which I believe is this one, if I can select it. And if we go into that, it'll give us the results, so the parameter there, and that's what is going to allow us to switch between the two. Now, how do I want to use that? Do I want to build the uniform first, then the parametric, and do I want an output one? Because it's definitely got to be 2. Do I even want to build the transforms? Because I don't need to worry about the push out. I only need to worry about blends. I think what I can do... Well, let's set that up first of all. And see how the blend goes. Because basically I'm trying to remove, like, I'm trying to avoid wastage if I can with these setups where, like, in some instances I'm never going to need some of the unseen nodes and I just want, you know, the ability to toggle them from being built or not. But I think it's probably just better to just make sure that it actually blends first. So let's do that. Build, blend from uniform to parametric. Because I think, yeah, we're going to want uniform closest point on curve nodes. So they should be under uniform module. Oh. Don't need to add dictionary though. Just rename those. Uniform module and closest point nodes. Yeah, cool. Let's go closest point. And we want that to go into the base, the parametric base motion paths. Self parametric module, and we should be able to define, yep, base motion paths. Cool. So I've got this all set up as variables in the init that we can refer to, the self dot stuff. So this is all referred to here. So if I wanted to do for I in range 0 to self uniform module number of transforms, then we can do uniform closest point node, and we can just specify that as the one with I. This is not the only way to do it, but I'm just doing this for the sake of laying everything out this way. Like you could do it with a zip or whatever, but I'm just going to do it this way because why not? And then we want to build a blend. So blend to attrs. So what I've got is, again, these are sort of like wrappers for utility nodes. So if I go to my utility node Python file, you can see I've got like a whole bunch of like things for standard Maya nodes. Stuff that's commonly used, plus, minus, multiply, blend, reverse, remap, things like that, just so I can quickly specify things in a dictionary, just plug it all in. Like when I specify the inputs, it's smart enough to know, is it just a value, is it a connection, and it connects everything up just that way. So it just kind of simplifies the process rather than having to type out every single time, build this utility node, remember what all the different inputs are and connect them all up manually using connect attrs and everything. So yeah, it's not the most comprehensive thing. In fact, I probably set up that Python file a long time ago, so it probably needs a bit of work, but yeah, it's fine for the time being. We're going to parametric base motion path. Before I test this, actually, I'm out of tea. So I am going to get some more tea. I'm just going to put on the Be Alright back screen. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Just run some ads. Oh, and Umesh has got to go. Perfect timing then. Have a good day, my man, and have a good holiday tomorrow. Take some time off, relax, and hope you go back to work all refreshed the day after. Catch you around. And I'll be right back in 1 second, guys. And we are back. So I got a fresh cup of tea. Keep me going. So I mentioned at the earlier part of the stream at the beginning, I'm probably not going to go as late as I normally do tonight. I did 3 hours worth of teaching today, so my voice is a little sore. Don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to keep going. I'm so tired, and I also have to get up in the morning at about like 6:30, 7 o'clock or whatever to go bouldering. So I'm going to see how long we can go for. Probably another, what's the time, 45 minutes or something. So a slightly shorter stream, but we'll see. I'm not sure how much I can get done with this stuff in either case, but yeah, let's see how it goes. So I need to add an attribute. And I need to do that to, it's going to go, the info input is going to be self, uniform module, info transform, module, input, shape. Yes, cool, sick. Shorten that down. Long name, what do we want to call this? Parametric blend? Yes, because it's going to be uniformed by default. Yeah, parametric blend is probably good. Min equals 0, max equals 1, default. Let's keep it to 0 and make sure it's keyable. So probably going to get this around the wrong way. Because I think it's different between the blend to adders and the blend colors nodes, the blending, which way it goes.
You are extremely sexy, unbelievably sexy. Yes, you are. Because you know what you are? You're polymorphously perverse. You're exceptional in bed because you get pleasure in every part of your body. You know what I mean? Like the tip of your nose, and if I stroke your teeth.
We want this. We want it to be the parameter. of the closest point node. And yeah, because we're going to want to force this connection afterwards. Okay. Parametric based motion path. We want to find the plug for that. That. Let's do that. Do the brackets around the F string, and it is a U value. Yeah, I think that's all right. And then after, we go commands, connect atta, because we're going to force this connection now over the top of that U value. So blend module, we can do the node output of that, and we can do it to this one. And although it's already got a connection, if we go F equals true, it's going to force it and get rid of the existing connection. So I think, if that's set up correctly, let's go command, well, first of all, uniform should go first. Let's just shift those around, just for visual clarity. And we're going to set the self-parametric module, no, uniform module. I'm going to set the hierarchy, what is it? The hierarchy, let's do that, visibility to 0. Just so we don't see the original uniform stuff. Let's see if that goes through. Undo everything, and we're going to run it one more time. Moichido. Oh, it's done something. Did that not add to info input? Oh, I didn't bloody build it. God damn. I didn't execute it. One more time. Okay, let's change the name of that to uniform parametric blend. Why is that not doing it? Error reading data element. Oh, did I not? Oh, yeah, it's a list, so I'll need to do that as 0. Okay, again, one more time. We're gonna celebrate. Oh, yeah, one more time. Marin, welcome, welcome. How are you doing? Great work on your showreel recently as well. It looked really cool, the stuff. The quadruped and everything, the face. Really good stuff. Okay, that's good. Yes, is that? Oh, I've got it around the wrong way. Okay, cool. Well, at least I know that it's working. What spurred you on to make the new showreel, Marin? Was it are you looking for work right now, or you were working somewhere before, right? Or am I crazy? Am I misremembering? This is gonna go... Okay, that's parametric. Wait, what? Did I... Was that right before? Am I crazy? What did I just do? Magic blend 0. Oh no, I think that was right before. I think I'm just a dummy. I'm a stupid moron. Let's take a look. Yeah, that's uniform. Duh. Okay, yeah, that was correct the first time. Because 0 should be uniform. Toggle that to parametric, and now everything's stretching independently. We do that, and we blend that off, and everything slides into place. Cool. Awesome. Yeah, I was working a few months at Illumination. That was it. When I'm breaking, currently available for work. I'm trying to get to Canada or England. Oh, interesting. Do you have any, like, sort of... Do I want to say it? Dream jobs. I know people say like don't talk about dream jobs because you'll only be disappointed when you get them. But is there anywhere you're sort of like keen to work for? Do you want to do like feature anim? Are you wanting to do film, commercials, games, anything like that? Pretty much anything. I know some people generally have specific things they want to work on. Some people just like whatever, like I'm just cool to work on anything, you know. I'm sort of like the anything sort of person. I don't mind what it is so long as it's kind of cool and, well, not NFT or crypto based or something. So with this, I'm pretty sure, can I get rid of these now? If I delete that, information still gets left behind. Ooh, that's cool. Okay, that's still working. What's the best way to sort of go about this? I kind of want to keep all that, though I guess I don't need to. Like, I literally could delete that and everything's still gonna stay working, I think. Yeah, damn, okay. Let me just do that. So let's delete self-uniform layer hierarchy. So we're just going to get rid of that. Basically all the transforms. So it'll keep all of the nodes underneath, I think, keeping this chugging. Come on. And do Unimos. Ooh, no, it didn't work. Haha. I spoke too soon. Unless I have to delete something in the row. Honestly, that's probably not a big deal right about now. Hard question. I think I prefer like bigger projects for now. I'll maybe stay a little bit more on feature animation. It was fun, but if I have an opportunity for live action movies, why not? I think there's quite a lot of opportunities in Vancouver right now for feature animation. I have a friend who's just started working at Disney. So Disney Feature Animation have opened up a studio in Vancouver. So there's like them in California, where is it in California? Emory or something? Somewhere in California, LA. And they've also got them up in Toronto now as well, so they're splitting stuff between them. And I think when they opened up, they took a lot of people from Animal Logic and Sony Pictures Imageworks, and those places might be looking for people now. So, yeah, I know Animal Logic definitely has a lot of stuff, but it might be kind of hectic there. And yeah, I'm not too sure. I think maybe similar stuff with Spider-Verse and Sony, from my understanding. I mean, it'd be cool. Definitely be very cool to work on Spider-Verse, but like the expectations for that project would be crazy. So much just like personal pressure, as well as I'm sure pressure in general. So, yeah, because I think it already got delayed once. So hopefully behind the scenes everything is okay. Is there another feature anim studio in Vancouver? Am I forgetting someone? SPI. Disney's there now. Animal Logic. Yeah, I'm not sure. Honestly, yeah, for me, there's this one studio to choose. Sony is the winner, yeah. They seem to work on the most interesting, dynamic, diverse stuff, which is certainly cool, but also, yeah, a lot of pressure when they're like experimenting with new things, and the quality of animation is so high and everything. I'm sure there must be like a lot of internal pressure on people to like do as much as possible to make it look as good as possible. Oh, there might be DreamWorks as well. DreamWorks is coming back as well. Like, DreamWorks have done some cool things recently. They're doing more like stylized stuff as well, like the new Puss in Boots and Bad Guys. Oh, I need to watch Bad Guys. I do like movie nights with my friends over the other side of Australia, so there's like 3 hours difference between us. So we watch stuff on Discord, and we need to watch Bad Guys. We all went to university together, so generally if there's a new animated film or whatever out, we'll watch it. Actually, one of my friend who I have two friends at Disney, one who's in storyboarding and one who's a rigger, and the guy in storyboarding actually did my display picture that I use for Twitch and everything. It's like me, the cartoon of me with my mustache and putting Lego bricks together. That was done for my birthday, so I love the Disney folks. Bad Guys was really fun and refreshing. Loved it. Yeah, I think like it's quite French inspired as well, right? Like the animation style and sort of like the look of the characters and things. I've heard it's been very influenced by sort of like French comics and animation and things like that, right? Unfortunately, I'm not a huge expert on French animation. Oh, actually, yeah, let's hide that again. Yeah, kind of, I think it really has that, how to say it, je ne sais quoi? I don't know. I'm just being a dick, an asshole. Hey, Rehards, how you doing? How you doing this fine evening, or fine afternoon for you? French and Belgium comic inspiration. Oh, who am I thinking of? An artist name just came into my mind and is gone, so, oh well. Okay, so, we got this set up. Now, what do I do? Because that's going to be on, but we don't want that to be on when we're blending between the other ones. Hi, finally got Maya Indie. There we go. Welcome to the paying team. Do you guys want to know something as well? I'm going to open up NG Skin Tools, and hey, what's this? It's not saying that I'm using an educational license. I bought NG Skin Tools because I thought I should probably finally buy it, considering how much I use it. Considering how much NG Skin Tools has saved my life, doing things really, really fast, yeah, I finally decided to buy a license for NG. Honestly, not too bad. It's like 95 USD or something for a floating license that you can use in between computers. So, yeah, I think if it's just a single license to use on one workstation, it's like 65, and it's like locked to that computer forever. So you gotta be careful. Maya got some really weird subscription changes. Yeah, like something's going on, right? They got rid of Maya LT or something, so they're forcing people to get like Maya Indie or pay for the full product. They're just begging people to go to Blender at this stage. It's just kind of shocking. I saw that and I dropped LT instantly. Were they gonna like make it subscription so you have to pay for it, or are they like getting rid of it completely? I can't remember what I read. I think Rehards was using it, Marin, because LT was like it had a lot of stuff, but like didn't have access to Python. I think there was like a few things that were like locked out of it, but for the price it was, or however, like it was pretty decent. But like all of that appeal sort of loses, sort of goes away if you have to like pay for it consistently or more or whatever it was. Oh, it didn't have the component manager? Oh, whoa. Damn. Although I don't actually use the component manager. This one, right? Component editor, where you can like select your skin and things like that. 35 euros a month. Oh, yeah. What's that in Australian? 35 euro. GBP. Oh, 50 Australian dollars a month. Yeah, okay. I get you. Cool. Although if it's, 50... What's it we got? Calculator. 50 times 12. Yeah, it's actually probably cheaper to get the indie license now, I think. Yeah, because I think after the first time you pay for it, it's like 300 Australian dollars a year or something like that, 400, yeah. Had to change the subscription to the company anyway. Maybe without that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, my Indie's like, it's been pretty good for me so far, so I can't complain too much, I gotta say. But yeah, I can understand like people who just can't afford to pay it every single year, and they're just wanting to learn more. It's just like, God, I just wish they still... Because I think, did they take away the student option as well? Or it's now just like the amount of time you get it is much, much smaller, or it's much more restrictive? Like, it's just, come on, Autodesk, let people learn your software. Like, you need to inspire future generations. Otherwise, everyone's just going to go to Blender. It's a shame. But it's their own undoing, so, nobody to blame but themselves. They create the rules. You actually need to be a student and get a slip from the school you study. See, that's madness. Like, I think I had like a teaching license for a bit that ran out because I like just put in an email address from an old university that I used to work at, and that was fine, but it's probably way more specific now. I think, do I want to do test band? Let's do test plan C now. We want all this goodness, and then we also want... So that's going to be uniform. The parametric blend is over that. So we want the output of Copy the stretch. Okay. It's really giving me Adobe subscription vibes. Yeah, I mean, if somebody's like, if they're copying Adobe or whatever, you know they're definitely in trouble. Because, like, my God. People are just finding any excuse to move on from these programs now. The point is, I think they just, like, they expect that, like, all of Adobe stuff, Photoshop and everything is so embedded in pipeline. Same with, like, Maya. They're like, oh, you know, we just need to keep relying on studios to feed us our money. But there's going to be a turning point at some point, I'm sure, where, like, Blender gets to a point where it's just more accessible and it can do all the same things, and then it's just like, well, why do we keep paying these overhead fees all the time? Like, it's the same with, like, once companies start transitioning to, like, work from home, when they're like, oh, we don't need to, like, you know, rent out this space anymore. We can save all this money if everyone's working from home, and, you know, yeah. Question about NG skin tools. So floating license is better than a single user. I think it is. I think from what I could see, the standard license is linked only to one workstation. So, like, if you want to use it on another computer, you can't. It's, like, locked to just one, and that's it. One chance or something. That's what I saw from people's reviews. So I just got a floating license. So you have to, like, put up the license server. Like, I've literally got my license server up here right now, just running in the background. So yeah, like, but that'll allow you to, like, use it between multiple computers or something. So yeah. Blender needs a Mel equivalent, then it's over. Yeah, I think that's sort of, from what I understand as well, Blender might not have all the benefits of, like, parallel evaluation and speed and stuff at the moment, which is another reason why to sort of stick with Maya, because just, like, if you can keep things running at 24 FPS, then it's just always, like, I mean, depending on what you're working on, if you're working on, like, more feature film, cartoonish sort of rigs, then, you know, it might not be too much of an issue, but yeah, like, speed has always been the main selling point for Maya these days with parallel evaluation. So once it just becomes more preferable for animation to use Blender in terms of, like, speed and usability and that's when it's, like, all over for rigging. In France, actually, lots of small indie studios are trying to move to Blender. Yeah, exactly. Like, hey, it's free, and you can do all this cool stuff in it. People create all these amazing plugins that are easy to access and install and buy and everything. Like, it's just, yeah, it's really cool. So, I say this all the time, but yeah, I need to look into it at some point. Sometimes just simple Control-Z, super annoying in Blender. Like with Simple Scene, it takes just forever to undo. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's just things like, there's definitely things to complain about Blender, but, you know, when it's free, it's easy, you know, for people to find lots of things wrong with it and just go from there. What was I doing? So I think I was basically going to copy all of that. Yeah, let's just do that. I'm going to call this C. And we're also going to add in the uniform lock one to try and get all three working in parallel together. So, how do I want to do this? I want that to be true. Yeah, okay. I want that. I think I gotta slot this in carefully because I can't just do one of them. Oh, I need to get a week off work now. Gotta make some rigs as well as chicken. Thank God I got everything as FPX, so it's just colors and functionality. Yeah. I found FPX to actually be quite useful in the scheme of things. Just like, I know there's some limitations with it and everything, but like, just how easily you can like pull things in and just grab the important stuff from it. It's definitely got benefits. Although isn't everyone talking about like switching imports and exports to USD and using that kind of stuff. That's big on Twitter right now. I still don't get USD stuff at all. I just like defer to other people to get it done. So that is going to be parametric. So I can use the output of this one and that one. Yeah, okay, I think this can work. USD is good for finished models and animations at this time. Not great for editing, yeah. Yeah, because we had the previous studio is that we had some sort of like USD things set up, but mostly when we were working with it, we just imported things as like limbic caches or whatever anyway. Like I don't think we were really making the use most of it, but it was like, that's the thing when you're working on stuff side by side, it's hard to like change your structure all of a sudden when it's inherent to getting things out fast, especially in fucking like film when you've got 3-month deadlines or whatever, crazy turnarounds. Okay, so we've got blend to uniform to para. So if I go... Sorry, I'm just sort of like half-heartedly doing this stuff in the background as we go. I'm interested in all the conversations. We want to do build blend from uniform lock to parametric. I think that's going to work. I think this may take a little bit of conjuling. Uniform. Yeah, okay, I think this is going to work. I am nearly out of tea again as well. But I'm not going to get any more. I'm just going to switch to water. So I don't want to be up all night. So then we want to be uniform lock closest point nodes. God, I'm worried I'm going to actually spill all this water now. It's so damn big. So parametric base motion. Yep, that's all good. Yeah, I think this should work. Cause yeah. And we want this one to be stretch blend. And we want it to be I think this will work. Parametric base motion path there, yes. Then force it over the top of that one. Glad Knox, welcome to the stream, buddy. How you doing? Working on a Mac being like, select 4 files to delete, right click and look for delete. That's move to bin. Don't they have like the thing on the desktop that you can drag it all into? It's been a while, honestly, it's been a while since I've used a Mac. I used it in used them in university. That was, when was the last time I would have used it? When I was teaching there, 2013. It's been like 10 years. Ugh, it's probably way different now. Weight painting and suffering. Are you using NG or are you just using standard Maya weight painting tools? Blend to, yeah, we want this to be, yep, that should be fine. I think that should be okay. Alright, let's see how this goes. Oh, it's a blender, that's right. Yeah. See, Blender needs like a NG skin things. Because does the Blender, however, Blender has weight painting stuff. It does. I'm assuming it doesn't have layers, right? Does it have anything like that? Honestly, I've been using the Maya standard stuff over the past few days because I've been doing a little bit of teaching of a class that's like brand new to rigging. So I've got to like think, how do I actually like skin in normal Maya weight painting tools again? Because it's been a while. Like it's the whole, you know, you got to lock everything, unlock two, subtract weights, smooth them, lock the other two, do that and everything. Yeah. Layers is an add-on. It's like $30 and a great investment. There you go. Yeah. I think just like that's one of the, even like just that alone in NG makes it like worth the price. Just being able to more systematically approach your skins is just, it's like, that's just, yeah, so necessary. Yeah, it's just another additional thing on top that you have to do, right? You got to remember to do it, and then if you've, you know, you start painting on something you haven't unlocked, and then nothing happens after you finish it, and you're like, oh, good times. Yeah, because Nox, you had finished up with your final student project or something recently, right? That was what I think you mentioned that in last stream, right? Parametric blend. That ain't right. Hold on. Uniform lock, yeah. Uniform lock module. Why is that not building? Did I not do that correctly? One more time. Oh, I know what it is, because I'm doing B, not C. That's it. Sorry, I'm testing out a whole bunch of things right now. Gotta remember where everything is. Okay. Okay, good first start. So if we stretch blend, and then parametric blend. Oh, yes! That's exactly what I want. Perfect. It's a little bit wonky, but... And even with all this on, can I compress to the start? Yep. Compress to the end. Boom! Oh, I'm a very happy chappy. And even with that off, we can stretch down to the start. We can move that to the other side. Stretch blend to the start. Ah! Yes! Ah, it's possible, guys. We've done it. So, I will look at chat in 1 second, but I'll just go through everything that's going on here in a bit more detail. So, we have sort of like 4 states for this rig. Actually, let me just double check as well. Do I have the push outs on? I will need to do that. Ooh, do I even have that on the parametric one? Ooh, okay. That's something I might have to install blends for the transforms. Because I don't think the push out is going to work. But essentially, we've got 4 states. We've got uniform stuff where it locks to the start of the curve. So all of these motion paths maintain the original length. So it can either be locked to the start or the end of the curve. We've got turning it onto uniform stretch, so it stretches evenly throughout the whole curve, so no matter where it goes, everything pulls along with it. And the other one, which we've just added, is the parametric blend, which allows us to have that where it's sort of moving around stuff specifically towards like the end of the curve or whatever, and the stuff at the start doesn't get moved around with it, so it allows things to sort of stay in one place, and that's all blending between each other. So I think right now the functionality isn't going to work on if I go parametric blend off, so it's currently uniform stretching, and we turn off the stretch so it's locked to the start or the end. Yeah, it's all compressing at the end. I don't have the push outs working for the parametric one, which I could either do. Can I do that? No, I can't do that because that's not how it works. I'm gonna have to blend to the transforms, which we can probably do very quickly. Cool. Just looking at you using NG here has made me get it. Yeah, pretty much, but we'll wait with promo until December because we want copyright. Oh, cool, yeah. This music has gone very dry. Hold on. Where is it? Are we like towards the end? Yes, we are. Let's get something a bit more dynamic.
I'm seeing double here. 4 crusties.
Actually, oh man, this was a bit too intense. Ugh. What do I want? Let's go. Which bird? Okay, so let's do blends. Build blend from uniform. Is it coming through from the lock? Yes, it is. Right. To push out, yes. So uniform lock to parametric. That's the same name, so build transform blend. It's only going to be one axis. Technically, I could use a blend to add a node, because I don't think under my utility node scripts I've got just like blend colors working. I think I've just been creating that manually. I don't really want to use them beyond that, because we're only pushing out along one axis. I can still use blend to adders to blend between. I think that should be okay. Alright, so we got uniform lock base transforms, and we got parametric base transforms. So that is parametric module, and that should be base transforms. This will be self uniform lock module, base transforms. Same thing. Let's wipe that. Base transform. Copy, remove the S, pop an I in there. And parametric base transforms. Transform blend. Parametric base transform. Let's pop that in there. Let's specify the info. So we can specify, so it's uniform lock for the first one. We know it's going to be T for translate, and we can find the aim axis. Ooh, let's get that from, could be any of these. Uniform module aim axis, yeah. So the first one is going to be, is it aim axis? Yes, yeah, aim axis is going to be plus Y. So it's going to be not the first, but the second. I think. And we want it to be not just direct connections. We want it to be the plug. So let's do that. The source plug. And we can do the same thing with the next one, which is going to be the same, but it's going to be the parametric base transform. Oops. Ah. There we go. And the output, we can do that afterwards because we're going to need to force it over the top of the existing connection. A lot of these things I'm doing in these ones is just like, I'm just inserting connections in over the top of existing ones. Probably not the best way to go about it, but It's just like, find the source, plug it into the new thing, then plug that new thing into where that plug was. Planned output, that's fine. And grab you. That's future Robbie's problems. Exactly. That's off-stream problems.
Words of wisdom.
Drop that zero and get with the hero. Then let's G.O.
Then let's Geo.
It's still my favorite. It's so dumb. So dumb. I love it. Did you guys see that Neil Breen's finished his new movie as well? I can't wait for that. Neil Breen is like up there with Tommy Wiseau as the king of like bad directors. It's fantastic, his stuff. Someone has to try all the stuff to find the really cool stuff. I definitely gotta, I'm seriously considering trying to track down, like, Vanilla Ice's, one of the things he wears in that movie, like, finding out what jacket he wore, what pants he wore, what hat he was wearing, so I can recreate the outfit myself. But it actually seems like a lot of work, because I gotta try and track down fashion from, like, the early 90s. And if I can find it in, like, on eBay or something like that. Haven't heard of that one. Yeah, Neil Breen is a director. He's directed, I think, 5 or 6 films. They're all so terrible. He's got this, like, obsession. Like, he always plays characters who sort of know better than everyone. Who's sort of like, he's the arbiter of morality or whatever in them. Like, he chooses to wipe out half of humanity because they were all evil or whatever, and it's seen as, like, a righteous act. And it's just, like, he's always, like, the best guy. It's so good. And the VFX in them, awful. Like in his last movie, Twisted Pair, he plays both himself and like his twin brother or something. One has like a shitty fake beard or whatever, but in this movie he's like discovered stock footage and like inserting himself into stock footage, and also like him, you know, jumping or like on a green screen and then moving it across a screen to make it seem like he's doing huge jumps. It's just like, oh, it is so good. I watched it in cinemas in London with Matthias Reusvik and whatnot, and also Jose, who some of you guys might follow on Twitter as well. I think, yeah, was Jose there? Yes, he was. I think. It's like the only film ever that I've seen in theaters where I've like put my hand on my head and I'm just like, what is going on? Like, it was insane. Like, it's just some of the choices made in direction and everything. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, like, bad, but, like, so bad they're good. They're, like, fascinating to watch. Yeah, that's a common theme on my my streams, is talking about movies that are so bad they're good. So every time, like, Vanilla Ice comes up, it's because of the movie Cool as Ice, which is, like, legitimately one of my favorite movies because it's so bad. If you look up, yeah, Neil Breen, Twisted Pair. That's the last one he did. Probably almost it's probably the most competent one, which isn't really saying much. But yeah, I think it came out 2018 or something like that. Oh, the Russian animated Pinocchio. I want to watch that so much. I tried to get my friends to download it, but we couldn't find, like, apparently there was like another version recorded with like other English voice actors, because you want the one with what's the guy's name? Because he was like, "Father, when am I gonna be on my own? I've got the whole world to see." It's not Martin Short. What is that actor's name? Is it like, it's Pinocchio the Adventure Begins or something, right? The True Story, that's it. Why are all the voice actors different? This is so confusing. Pauly Shore, that's it. Yeah. Yeah, I think they released it like a year before and then redid the dub or something. Madness. I love it. Okay, so let's try this. Who does that? People who want to make money. Or think they've got, hey, we got this property we can easily redub. Nobody's seen it. Let's just do it. Yeah, we didn't get the TikTok one either. I think it's even worse. Yeah, because like we started watching it and we're like, that's not Pauly Shore's voice from that weird trailer. So yeah, I gotta like track down the other one. Yeah, so I pretty regularly do like bad movie nights with my friends. These are the ones I was talking about just a bit before. Like, we do watch good movies sometimes because we're all from university together. We like watching animated movies, but we also do lots of bad movies. We've recently gone through the Triple X series. If you guys remember that one, it's starred Vin Diesel in the first one. It's like lowercase x, uppercase x, lowercase x. It's like extreme. And he does a bunch of like wild, crazy stunts, which are obviously not Vin Diesel. Like, obviously not him. You can tell it just by looking at the characters in the film. The second one had Ice Cube in the main role instead. And like in 2019 or something, they chose to do a third one, like remaking it. And it's just so awkward because Vin Diesel is so much older now and he's like making out with people half of his age. And it's just like, oh boy. Ugh. I think it was like made by, I think China financed it. So there's a lot of like, there's a few Chinese actors in there and people from around the world and stuff. So yeah, I think it was just probably them. Like, what franchise can we bring back? Vin Diesel is the best. First one was a big hit. Yeah, like it wasn't terrible. It was kind of like enjoyable, but he just can't do it anymore. Favorite trash movie. So my favorite trash movie is definitely Vanilla Ice's Cool as Ice. I recommend it to everybody I come across. There's that. The Room, obviously. Samurai Cop is fantastic. Hotline to Miami No, not Hotline to Miami. No, Miami Connection. Sorry, that's. I'm thinking of Hard Ticket to Hawaii. It's a completely different movie. Yeah, Samurai Cop's fantastic. Yeah, I've got Nox. I've got a few like commands. So when basically Vanilla Ice comes up, that's from Cool as Ice. So Cat's not in the stream, but we'll use this one.
Kathy.
Mm-hmm. Cat. Just like the execution of this dialogue. Oh, it's so good. We also got
Yo, man, that's a great philosophy, but like, can you put it back together with quickness?
like, I want that orange jacket. I want that backwards hat so I can wear it, because I would wear the hell out of it. Goddamn, I love it. It's gonna become this weird obsession for me. That's for sure. Sorry, I've been chanting so much I can't remember if I've actually redone this or not. Ooh, why did that not go in? Oh, you know what? Because I didn't do it. Yep. Always forget to actually do this. We actually did a streaming of Cool as Ice. Was it like Christmas or Boxing Day last year? I put it out on Rigging Twitter, and a few people joined. Like Lewis was there. Wasim from Naughty Dog showed up. I was like, oh my god, the first time I've interacted with this guy from Naughty Dog is watching this terrible movie together, which was kind of cool. And also horrifying at the same time. But yeah, I might have to do another one. Might have to make it like a yearly tradition where all of Rigging Twitter come together and watch Vanilla Ice's Cool as Ice. Because, I mean, Christmas is only a few months away, so we're getting there quickly. Why is this not working? Parametric base transform. Oh, there's nothing coming in. So I think I'm nearly done with this. Ooh. Stretch blend first. Well, let's make sure this pushes out. Yep, that's cool. And we can do it to the other side. That is also cool. Stretch it so that blends off. And that's actually quite good. And we can do parametric if we turn that off. Yeah, it's not going to be an even pop, but yeah, that's pretty good. Woohoo! We got it working, guys. That's all the functionality I want. I will go back through and clean this up a little bit later and probably structure it a little bit better so I can use it in other things. Do I want to do a test? Do I want to set anything up? What's the time? It's just after 11. Yeah, honestly, I probably have to head off. If I just quickly... I kind of just want to quickly set up some skinning just to test it, just to make sure it's all nice and gravy. So yeah, let's do that a bit bigger. Need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And let's just put one in between these as well. here. Let's just version up. Skin test with first feature complete. Idea. My Christmas tradition is watching Treevenge. Oh, not familiar with that one. Reminds me of that movie, Revenge of the Killer Tomatoes. Oh yeah, like that's fairly old, isn't it? Is it like 80s, 70s or something? I have not seen it myself. That's one I need to spend some time watching. What me and my friends like doing, if we're out of ideas for bad movies, we generally just go on Netflix and search for like dance movies and just watch them. They're normally an interesting watch. Because at the very least, you're probably going to get some interesting dancing, and the stories behind it are shit, so it's sort of like, it balances out. Geo, that's fine. Any Christmas movies, just what the fuck. There was this Christmas movie, Jingle Jangle. Is that one quite new? Did that come out recently? It's got one of the guys from Key and Peele in it or something? Or am I thinking of a different movie? The Wild Gamer here. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? First 10 minutes, maybe just nope out of it. It's new, but it's got straight nonsense. Damn. Is it like very whimsical, sort of like Christmas spirit sort of stuff? I think Framestore might have worked on that one. I think it's got a little Tin Man dude or something. I think Framestore might have done stuff on that. If it's the one I'm thinking of. So, with my floating license of NG Skin Tools, let's initiate this. Let's just clean these up nice and good. Oh, did I offset everything? Whoa. Yeah, okay. What's the last song? It was just super obnoxious jingle and some sweet holiday vibes. It just doesn't sit right, super over the top. There was one movie that I tried to watch, but it was so like obnoxiously by the numbers piece of shit that I had to turn it off. I couldn't get more than 10 minutes or something into it. And it was, I think, something like The Last Night or something. It was like a Christmas movie with Seth Rogen, Joseph Gordon-Levitt or whatever. They're partying around New York or something. Like, was it The Last Night? Something like that. I don't know. Just the way everything was getting set up in it, and everyone was just like, oh, we love you so much. Like, they're singing in public, and everyone's just getting, I'm just like, fuck this shit. I could not stand it. Yeah, I don't know what the line is, but there's some line where, like, when a film is, like, obnoxiously made just to, like, pander and be by the numbers and just completely uninventive or whatever, it's sort of like there's a balance between it being interesting and it just being, like, so bland you just want to turn it off. And I'm not sure where that line is. I had this with the animated movie. You didn't like Encanto? Ah, man. I liked Encanto. I think, yeah, I sort of knew there was something going on underneath the vibe of the movie, because obviously not being South American, I didn't really understand the whole family thing in it. But I talked to one of my Brazilian friends about it, and she was like, yeah, it's like, we don't talk about Bruno and stuff, you know, when somebody's a weird family member or whatever, it sort of gets pushed to the side in that culture and everything. So, like, I was like, okay, I knew there was something going on. I didn't quite get it, but, like, yeah, I'm glad that I was, like, smart enough to pick up on that, I suppose, anyway. Was it just, like, was it, like, over-animated or something, Rehards, that you didn't like it? Like, I love Tangled. Tangled is one of my favorite movies, but Tangled is incredibly over-animated. Which I sort of like and don't like at the same time. Because it's super expressive and, like, all characters have little moments shot to shot and everything, but, like, if you focus on it, it can drive you fucking crazy. Or at least it drove me crazy when I was watching it in university at, like, 2 a.m. while I was doing all my assignments and it was just on in the background, so maybe that's why. Okay, so that's all evenly skinned. Let's save that. There we go. There you go. That. Rotate that around so we can just see this. Actually, we'll smooth this a bit. That's fine. So we can compress to the start. Hey. We can compress to the end. If I didn't smooth that out, that'd be working right. We can lock from the start to the end. We can stretch that out, and we can go parametric. So we can pull this all the way over there, and everything at the start's going to be left behind. Yes! Let's revert all that back. Let's do this all to 0. Let's grab the last one, push that in, so it still maintains. Oops. Cool, that goes to there. We can lock to the start and end. Cool. Now everything's doing what it should be. Oh, okay. Awesome. Let's undo all that. And just save that one more time. Cool. So I think that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this for tonight. Nothing sours if you're like being manipulated. To me, it felt like it was all about family, but the story felt too extra. Not to take anything away from the work. Felt like a cool idea. Don't see the point of it all. It's like some movies feel more about the side characters. Yeah, like, you sort of get that with Disney movies. Like, for some reason, I remember in Encanto there was like a little toucan that sort of shows up for one scene, and it's like, oh, that's the sidekick character, you know, that's going to be marketed to kids or whatever. It like shows up and then disappears. It's like, what was the point of adding the bird? It may be like a previous draft or something. It was just left over from it or whatever. They just want to reuse the rig or something. I don't know. I don't know. Films sort of interest me in that way. Like, I can go into films liking it as like a film goer, but I'll also, sometimes it's hard to separate like analytical, I've worked on films before, I can see like how corporate interference might have worked in this scene or things like that. Just like, I went to see Morbius, like I forced my friends to go see Morbius with me in the cinema, because we thought it would be a meme, and it was just sort of boring. But it was, I don't really regret it too much, because it was sort of interesting to see what was ticking over in Sony's mind when they were producing it, because there was like stuff from the trailer that was just completely gone. Like they must have cut out huge sequences, things were like backgrounds and stuff were different. They must have like, you know, panicked at certain points and like, oh, we need to rework this element and things like that. Because, you know, I've worked on films that have had that stuff going on where the studio just has like a fucking panic attack and just decides to change everything. Justice League. So like, you know, it's kind of interesting from that point of view, and you can just probably imagine the director like pulling their hair out, being like, why are you forcing me to do this? It makes no sense, or whatever. Alrighty then, folks. Just been streaming for just under 2 hours. Yeah, I've got to head off to sleep because I'm going to be up early bouldering in the morning. So thank you very much for joining tonight. I will probably do another one next week, same time. Yeah, it might have been at a different time tonight for some people because our daylight savings has ticked over or whatever, so it's a little bit different now. I would love to see different stuff, but more from the culture. Don't change the stuff from 30 years ago. Make new IP. Yeah, that's something Disney does as well. Like, sort of like takes sort of cultural things and, you know, does their thing to them. Like, a lot of people were happy with Moana, but also, like, it's still Disney making a movie like that, you know? They had cultural consultants and everything, but yeah. But in any case, yeah. Final last words. Like, I've been enjoying a lot of the internet, not liking film series. Yeah, true. All right, yeah, thanks a lot, guys. I will catch you next week if you're around. Thanks, Marin, as well. Yeah, we'll see you guys next week, so don't work too hard, and I will catch you then. See yous.